both of these bands should be absolutely taking over the world because they're that good. And I was lucky enough to see them play together for one night. As soon as this tour was announced, I knew I had to go. Two of my absolute favorite bands currently going right now, the Home Team and Bilmuri. I mean, it doesn't get any more stacked than that. You've got real rockers and hog crankers. I mean, what a crowd this was gonna bring out, and it certainly did. I can tell you that the crowd was boisterous. Everybody was dancing and grooving along. It was a great time. Let's talk about it. I brought my girlfriend to this show, and funny enough, she actually has seen Bilmuri live once before 2 years ago. And it's not really her style of music at all in any way, but she has heard me listen to them often enough along with the Home Team, and it's kind of one of those types of styles of music where both of those bands, you can get somebody into that stuff with them. It's a little more accessible to somebody that doesn't listen to heavy music. So it worked out pretty well. Overall, I would say she enjoyed the experience. Another show back at the Roxy in Atlanta, and sadly to say for me this time, because of getting to the show, we had to eat there. So as one does, when there's a Shake Shack around, you partake and you get a milkshake. So that's what we did, and that led to us missing the first band, which was Gang! Exclamation point. Apparently these guys are technically another masked band, but in the meme sense of the word, it appeared they had like neon green ski masks on, and seemed like a fun band, although I didn't admittedly get to listen to any of their songs. They were totally done by the time we got to the venue, but that's okay. I checked them out afterwards. They seemed like a cool, fun band. I don't know if it's really my speed, but in tune with what Bilmuri's going for, and so it makes sense that they brought them along on this tour. And it seems interesting. So of course, after joking earlier on in another video that I missed the opening band and didn't get video of them, not only did I miss the video for them, I just didn't see them at all. So that's a little bit of a letdown, but we'll see if we can make up for it in the future. No offense to Gang, but the reason I was there was the last two bands, and the Home Team kicked it off with a absolute bang, and they crushed it. Hell was the opening track, just right into the bangers immediately, followed by Brag. I mean, they played some of their old stuff off Slow Bloom, which was awesome. And something I very early on noticed was whether this was totally coordinated or not, the bassist and the guitarist were locked in sync with dance moves, almost like they choreographed the entire thing on either side of Brian and the drummer in the middle. It was pretty sick. One of the coolest things I've seen. Especially to them, because it's an easy band to groove to and dance to. So not only was the crowd into it, including myself, but the band was clearly loving it and having a good time. So yeah, hell yeah. They played two of my favorite songs from the new album, Turn You Off and Overtime. Did I say Overtime? Overtime, back to back, which was incredible. And again, like just the vibes were immaculate. Brian was getting the crowd going. Also Brian live, fabulous voice. There might have been just a little bit of effects on it, but it was minute enough to just bring out the character in his voice, and he was just making insanely great vocal runs, and God, it was beautiful. Extremely talented, as is the rest of the band. Everybody brought out their lights on their phones for Walk This World With Me, which was fun. Apparently someone got a marriage proposal off in the front section towards the barricade, and thank God she said yes. That would have been awkward. Always love the thought of proposing during concerts. You don't get very many moments like that to slow it down at a rock and metal show, but this was one of those rare opportunities. So glad the guy took the chance, pulled it off, got the girl. And it's a beautiful day for all. And then they're right back into their just funky, heavy, just slick, danceable, groovy songs, loud and worthy to close it. I mean, that's just perfect. Brian is just kind of seductively dancing all over the place. It was beautiful. I think I've said beautiful about 40 times already in this video, and we're like halfway through. I do think it's funny that one of the singles they released for their deluxe version of their most recent album, Worthy, is probably their best track. I mean, arguably so. The band was awesome. Such a good time and a great vibe, and these guys If they haven't already had a massive headline show soon, I'm waiting on it because it should happen. These guys are gaining some traction and momentum. Their sound is just so perfectly catered to a broader audience, in my opinion, with their funkiness. I think they could make some tweaks and just really go a long way. So super proud of these guys. These guys are killing it right now. And then obviously the final band, Bilmuri, the vibes just continue to go up from here. It's hard to argue with any band that opens a set with a saxophone solo playing the Halo theme song. I mean, we all got to nerd out a little bit in that moment. It was fabulous. And then right into Kinda Hard, the just crazy heavy track from their newest record, which I checked out before this. And my God, just, it's Bilmuri. It's everything you expect. Their live performances are some of the best that I've seen. Just funny as hell. Like, they're not forcing any of the fun banter that you have on stage with everybody. It's kind of weird and you know, in a funny way, cringe, but it's glorious, and it just kind of fits the vibe. They're all having so much fun up there, and you just kind of are vicariously living through them as they're kicking ass up there and taking names. So they played an absolutely massive set list, which when you have songs that are mostly between 2 to 3.5 minutes long, like, you can get away with that. So I think it ended up being like 24 songs deep. Crazy. And again, you are hard pressed to find any quality drop off on any of their songs. You could go back to the early days of, you know, early songs like Pain, stuff like that. It's just, you know, it's all good for different ways. And obviously now he's transitioning into this country core type vibe, and it's still working. But the old stuff just slaps so hard live. A Cowboys Heavy Load, 80/20 Sky Beef, Hogman's Delight. I could go on. Interestingly enough, they actually played I Really Want to Stay at Your House, which was, I think, a cover of a cyberpunk song. So that was cool to see included. I did not expect that in the set list, but slapped. But yeah, again, like, the thing that makes this band live is just the talented musicianship. Zach Dubé was on drums instead of Xavier Ware, which was an interesting note, but he crushed it. Like, the guy absolutely rocks. I hadn't heard of him until that show, but yeah, respect to that guy. Reese is ripping solos all over the place. It's great. Johnny is just crushing it as a kind of an energetic frontman, obviously doing what he can. At one point, he took his shirt off and, you know, kind of was making fun of his thick boyness, which I can relate to a little bit. And I think the best part of their live stuff is Gabby. Just the inclusion of her vocals when she just rips on different features that were included on the records. She does them live and she crushes it. She's a great singer, her backing vocals too, but and obviously the saxophone stuff. She'll include it on songs that don't have it on recordings, but it fits so well in the vibe live. It just adds so much character and energy. It's great. And everybody loves it. I mean, you know, I think that was my one criticism from the album, the newest album, Kinda Hard, was the fact that I wish she was more well utilized on that record, because on everything else, she just is awesome. The singer of Gang came out to assist on Fluoride in the Hard Seltzer Water, which was cool. And also Brian comes out for Jeremy's part on Always Let You Down, which was great. He crushed it, especially with the screaming parts. He's got a great tone in the way that he's doing that with his vocal register, and it was well executed and fit really well. And of course, they ended on their, my opinion, still probably their best song, Better Hell. But interestingly enough, they didn't do any sort of like encore where they went off stage and come back. I find that always interesting in shows where bands, like, obviously, you know, you're going to save your biggest song for last, and it's just kind of like this arbitrary, like, we're going to walk off stage, say that we're done, wait for the crowd to get going, and then come back on. And they didn't do that, which I was kind of surprised by. I've almost come to expect it at this point. It was a nice change of pace, right? They just hit you with all of their heaters and then said, see ya. Obviously, with their last record, Bilmuri grew a lot, signing to Columbia Records and dropping their newest record. He actually referenced that during the show, that he was a little worried about the release, but it seems like it's been well received. So I'm only expecting Bilmuri to take this and run with it and just explode going forward and doing bigger and better things, bigger shows. Very excited for these guys, and they deserve it. Johnny and co have been grinding for a long time. And yeah, it's good to see, right? Overall, an amazing live show, almost like the perfect combination of these two bands coming together and just crushing it. If you guys saw these guys on tour, let me know what you thought. And if you enjoyed this video and this type of content, consider subscribing. We're going to be doing more stuff like this. Like the video if you did enjoy, and I hope to see you in the next one. Adios.